Hi, Stubbo. For many decades now, we've spoken about the difficulty of switching formats, and there was always this belief that before a test match you needed to play X number of first-class games, and I just wonder whether those days are gone now. You don't have that luxury. So do players of your generation just say, well, we just got to get on with it? It's a mental thing rather than a physical thing. Just test match to T20.
Yeah, I suppose if you had the luxury of time, prepping for a test, you'd love to play a few 40 games. But the reality is we don't have that time at the moment. And now I think it's easier going back, playing red ball and going into T20 rather than T20 into red ball. So it should be a bit easier going into the 3 games coming up now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. So here.
It's the first time we've spoken to you since that World Cup final. I mean, thinking back to it, have you gotten over it, the disappointment? You obviously also really well set in that final, looked like you were on track for a big one. Have you gone through all of the emotions of that innings and the game itself?
Yeah, it's like it'll come up when you don't want it to. But I've tried my best to forget about it as best as possible. But yeah, I had a review, and then it wasn't easy. It's still not easy. Get asked about it. Someone spoke to us the other night about it, and you're like, we know it's. You don't have to tell us you feel bad for us. We just stop talking about it rather than those type of things. But yeah, and especially coming back to the Caribbean, you get reminded. Fortunately, we're playing where we won the semi-final, so there's a bit of good vibes there. But it's definitely on your mind all the time.
Thanks, Zahir. Any further questions? Cool. Zahir, just checking if that's a new or old hand.
I'll come back to the end when everybody's done off that question.
No problemo. Ongama, please go ahead.
Hi, Stubbs. And sorry to bring up the World Cup final again. But realistically, it's those type of matches that really create a bit of character, that harden you up. What sort of player have you become from having that experience?
Yeah, I think the whole World Cup was a good experience for myself and the team. I was batting in a new position. The conditions were so different, and we found ways to win, which I think that's an underrated skill, just being able to win ugly. And I think as a team, we can take a lot from that. You can be 50 for 5 and still win a T20 game, which often we were defending 100. So those type of positions can, as a team, give us a lot of character, and yeah, that winning is a habit, I feel.
Thanks, Ongama. Lloyd?
Thanks, How's it, Tristan? Sorry, I know we're building up to a T20 series here, but I was batting at 3 in the tests, and just your ability to do that, and is it something you see yourself doing long term in that format?
Yeah, it was hard. I enjoyed it. I've got a lot of work to do, but yeah, I really enjoyed the challenge. I'm glad I can see that I could do it in the future, but a lot of work to do before the next series, because that red ball moves a lot more than a white ball.
Thanks, Lloyd. Neil?
Similar question, are you too young to think about career management in the future? I mean, at this stage, do you intend or want to carry on playing all 3 formats, and do you want to play Test cricket for as long as you can?
Yeah, I do. I do look at management. Obviously, I plan my year at the start of the year, and I didn't see it going the way it's gone. So I had CPL booked in for this month, not thinking I would play as much as I have. So I think going forward, if all goes to plan, it'll hopefully just be for the Proteas and then SA20 and IPL. That would be, if you're playing all three formats, I think that's the way it has to go, because you need time off, otherwise you're just playing all the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Percy?
Thank you so much, Lucy. Good afternoon, Tristan. Tristan, I promise you I won't ask you anything about the World Cup. Can I ask you though? My colleagues been asking about the Test series so far. That's behind you guys now. Do you guys expect a bit of a backlash from the West Indies going into this T20 series? How important is this series of behind the way for you guys? Because we know the West Indies in the past, they've been a nation who are quite good when it comes to the short format of the game, whether it's T20 or ODI series.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big series. They look like a seriously strong side. I think it's only 3 or 4 players that went at the World Cup, where we got a very fresh side. So I think it's going to be a good challenge for all of us. Hopefully we get good wickets. We played the Brian Lara, we played a warm-up game there for the 4-day game and looked really good. So I think if the wickets are good, it could be a really good series for everyone. It's not going to be easy for us, especially I think Friday and Sunday I'm sure will be full playing away. But yeah, a really good series. They got some really big names who are in form. So hopefully, I think if we win this series, we can take a lot from it.
Great.
Can I just get a follow-up, please?
Sure, go ahead, Percy.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Tristan, can I ask you? My colleagues asked you about your experience at Test at number 3 now. The question that most cricketers hate: which format do you prefer nowadays? Is it still the short format for you, or do you prefer now going into the longer format of the game?
I've always preferred red ball cricket. It's the most satisfying. My favorite format is 50 over cricket, then Test cricket, then T20 cricket. I've just been better at the T20 game, but my favorite format is the 50 over game. You can bat aggressively for longer periods of time.
Thanks, Percy. Is it here?
So you spoke about this year that you had when you played international cricket now for what's about 3 years now, 2 to 3 years, and you a couple of IPLs, into World Cup. You feel that you're settling at international level, that's why the performance of come about, that you're more comfortable in your environment?
I think I'm just a bit older. I think when I first played, I played like 20 games or maybe a bit more. I knew nothing about my game. I think my biggest thing in the last year is my mental side, while batting has been better. Up until we played a T20 in December last year against India at St. George's. Up until then, every game I played, SA20 or IPL or a big game, my mind was like going crazy, and then sort of adopted just enjoy the day, enjoy what you're doing out there, and it sort of allowed me to think. I always say I think like I'm playing a Warriors game, because then I feel calm at the crease. So yeah, if that answers your question, I'm just a bit older. I've played a bit more cricket than when I first came out.
And just to follow, you spoke earlier about, if I'm only going to play 2 leagues, it might be the IPL and the SA20. Just your impact in SA20 was immense last season. I mean, just in terms of the first season, the big price tag, and the second season, getting all those runs. Has it again got to do with I'm approaching it as I'm actually just wanting to enjoy myself, and that's why you went the right in the SA20?
Yeah, the first year it got to me. I was like, I have to score this many runs as quick as possible, where I sort of let it be. Guys are going to score. Classy has his way. He hits 30-odd sixes a game or a tournament, where I might have a different approach to getting the job done. So I've sort of accepted that and just really gone, like you say, SA20 is the best month of the year, I find. It's you're playing at home, full crowds, you're traveling your country, and it's so much fun. So that's definitely the best month of the year, and I think that's why this year I just said enjoy it. Playing at a full St. George's was a dream of mine, and then you're getting to do it 6 times in Jan. So yeah, I just enjoyed the whole comp, and then I think that meant I did a bit better.
That was just lastly from you here. You asking Rob for the gloves. You still taking the gloves the national side?
I made a joke the other day. I keep one, or I'm available to keep 1 month a year. No, but if the team needs me, I'll happily keep. It means less running in the field.